All right, guys, welcome to the stream. So today I want to talk about using the indicator a bit. I want to go over some charts, but as well I want to announce something. I think actually, let me get rid of the notifications. All right. So I actually want to announce something first. Let me see if I can share this. Yeah. All right. So as you guys can see here, I bought a breakout evaluation, like a 100k evaluation. And what I want to do is I want to create a video series where I basically share my trades on live streams, but also in the videos, and give you guys like a really proper progression series where you can see that these tools that we provide you guys actually are working, you know. And I want you guys to show you guys it's possible to stack up an account even with super tight risk management, which you have on the breakout account. This is what I'm showing you guys right now is a personal account that I bought yesterday. I did some test trades to see how the platform works in the trading terminal. But overall, I'm going to be buying a fresh account this week, and I'm going to be having a series with actual live trades, etc. So you guys can follow along. Obviously, feel free to use our affiliate links. The code for breakout is going to be Woodsbot. And yeah, I just want to show you guys how you actually can be profitable using the tools that we have. I want to show you guys that it's possible to become a successful trader using the Woodsbot tools. And yeah, I'm going to be starting this next week, I think. I still have to get some better video equipment, you know. I have to fix the lighting in my room. So, as you can see in the recording afterwards, it's quite light in my room. So I'm gonna have to fix that. Other than that, I'm excited for this. I hope you guys are excited as well. And yeah, let's look at some charts. What are we thinking? I think I'm leaning bearish. Yeah, I'm German. Yeah. I think my accent is quite clear, isn't it? Yeah. I'm from Germany, yeah. I'm leaning bearish. Honestly, at the moment, I haven't looked at charts too much today, but Bitcoin is in a potential short area. So I'm also leaning more on the bearish side, because if you look at the daily time frame, you can see that we do have a nice downtrend going on, right? If I just draw this trend line, you can see Bitcoin is still in a downtrend, but it broke the trend line. So that is the only bullish thing for now. But structurally wise, Bitcoin is still making lower lows, right? And lower highs. So just looking at the structure, Bitcoin is still bearish, but it did break the trend line. So I'm kind of conflicted here. So usually I'm not a trend line trader, but you know, you sometimes you gotta have to respect it. And if you look at the lower time frame, you can see how super choppy this is, right? Like this is just like this is just chop city. Like it's just going sideways. It's trying to get you impatient, make you lose money, you know. And the only thing you have to do right now is to try to be patient. If you're positioned from lower, then you're good to go. But it's hard to find a shorts setup right now. If you look at the RSI on the 1 hour, you can see there is RSI bearish divergence, but it's not like the strongest bearish divergence. Like usually what I like to see on the RSI indicator is that if the RSI, you know, pushes back above this, gets into the overbought area, and then I want to see bearish divergence. But if you see RSI basically just consolidating and holding this 50 mark, I don't think it's a bearish signal, you know, like I don't think it's a bearish signal at all. So even though there is bearish divergence on the 1 hour, I don't think it's that bearish. Like for me, that is not a valid super bearish signal, you know. And also if you go to the 30 minutes or 50 minutes, you can see that even though we do have bearish divergence on the 1 hour, on the 30 minutes, that's not the case yet, right? And on the 50 minute, there is some bearish divergence. But as long as the market structure holds, you know, like this is just a tight range. You have the range highs right here, you have the range lows right there. The range lows currently are also from the Monday high. And it's trying to basically consolidate above, which is a general bullish signal. So you have some bullish confluence on the lower time frame, but you still have the bearish market structure overall on the daily time frame, right? So it's kind of difficult to find a trade setup right now if you're not already in a position. Because if you go, for example, again, if you go to the lower time frame, Bitcoin can easily just go towards the range lows again, you know, take all of these stop losses out, take you out of your position, and then reclaim the range lows and pump again, right? Like this is something that easily can happen, but the opposite can also happen, you know. It can just sweep these highs, accept back again in the range, and it's just gonna consolidate for some time again. This is not the price action that I like to trade personally. You guys know my strategy. I like to be patient. I like to be waiting for my triggers, and so far my triggers are not aligning. However, it is in a bearish zone. You know, it just is in a bearish zone. If you pull the Fibonacci retracement tool, for example, you see it's in a potential reversal zone. It is currently still sitting under resistance. It's sitting under resistance level on the Woodsbot levels as well. You have bearish divergence on lower time frame. It's not the strongest bearish divergence, but there is bearish divergence, you know. And as long as Bitcoin doesn't actually close above these highs right here and here, I don't think it's wise to take longs. I would rather look for shorts, but like these shorts are also not looking the best, you know. Freue mich auf den Stream, wie gesagt, gute Idee mit dem Breakout. Yeah, I think so too. I think it's gonna be a banger series for YouTube especially. Get some content flowing there as well, you know, and just show people how with tight risk management, you know, I'm not risking more than 0.5% per trade on this breakout account. So even though it can be boring, I think it's nice to see, for people to see what does actual trading look like, you know. How can I stack my portfolio? Question, bro, do you trade Blowfin because I'm Dutch, but Mika is holding me back to trade on Blowfin and getting access to Woodsbot? Do you have any tips or anything? As far as I know, you can still trade on Blowfin. Actually, I'm not sure. I don't know if it's for Dutch people, if it's possible. It should be possible if you use VPN. But I don't know if the Netherlands banned Blowfin or something like this. But so far, what I know is that it's still fine to use Blowfin, and they are working to get Mika approved. So you shouldn't need to worry for now. For example, I still use Bybit, even though like I use the Bybit International exchange and not the Europe version. And so far, I'm still not getting kicked out of the exchange. So I don't know why, to be honest. But so far, no one I know has been kicked out of any European exchanges. So I still think it's fine to use Blowfin. and they're working to try to get Mika approved. So that's that. Yo, what's up, Slayer? What's up, Bosco? Alright, so for me, Bitcoin is basically in no one's land. So what I'm looking is, again, for Bitcoin to accept above these highs right here. And if it manages to actually close a 4-hour candle above these highs, I do think Bitcoin is going to continue higher. And what I'm meaning by Bitcoin is going to continue higher is I do think that Bitcoin will then, if it closes the 4-hour above this level, I definitely think it's going to be targeting these highs. I do think it's at least going to take out these highs around 67K.2. Probably there's going to be happening a rejection, some sweep, taking some liquidity, you know. But after all, if Bitcoin manages to actually close above like 64.7K, I do think 72K is still on the table. Like, I've been saying this for a couple of weeks now, and I still do think it's on the table, you know. So for me, it's still very possible. I do still am more bullish than bearish. Not right now, but in the overall picture. But Bitcoin, if it's gonna continue the downtrend, it should be from this level. Like, there should be no reason for Bitcoin to push even above these highs, you know, if it's gonna be bearish. So I will be watching this. Let me actually set some alerts for this. So I'm interested in Bitcoin when it's gonna be closing above these highs. So I will be setting myself alerts. And when it comes to long pullbacks, so let's just assume that Bitcoin is gonna be rejecting from here, right? So let's just play out the bearish side. If it's gonna be rejecting here, I do think there is a possibility for a higher low. The reason is simply why is because we already saw Bitcoin making a higher low, right? We had this swing low right here, and then Bitcoin, it's easier to see on the 4-hour, and then Bitcoin made a higher low right there, right? So this was the first signal that Bitcoin is becoming stronger again. And if Bitcoin is gonna be rejecting right here, which is very possible, I do think that Bitcoin is gonna be making a higher low between 63K towards 62.8K. I do think that this is a potential area for a higher low in this Woodsbot confluence zone. So this is where I will be looking for longs. And obviously you then can take this swing low right here as an invalidation, right? So this is what I'm eyeing for longs. So either Bitcoin rejects right now and creates a higher low afterwards, or it's not going to be rejecting and closes above these highs on the 4-hour and daily. And then I do think Bitcoin is going to go towards 67K. So in both scenarios, I do actually think Bitcoin is going to reach 67K before it actually makes new lows. On the very, very higher time frame, I still do think Bitcoin is going to make new lows. Or at least not count out the possibilities, you know? Like, I'm not 100% certain that it's going to be making new lows. I don't know if the macro lows are in, but in any case, I do think Bitcoin should come back towards low 60s at some point again. You know, like, even if it goes back towards 72K, 74K, that doesn't matter for me. It's just a swing short area, in my opinion, to get short on altcoins, especially. Because if Bitcoin gets towards 74, 72K, Bitcoin dominance should be quite high. And then if it rejects, Bitcoin dominance should even increase more, you know. So I will be looking to sync up swing shorts on altcoins when Bitcoin gets to the 74K area. And after that, yeah, I will be looking for Bitcoin to either hold the range, or start forming a range, or make new lows. I'm still open to the idea that Bitcoin is gonna go below 50K and sweep this low right here. This would be the ideal spot for me to add Bitcoin to my long-term positions. But I'm also not, I'm not counting on it, I'm not counting on it. I'm also gonna be happy if Bitcoin just pushes up and then comes back down and consolidates for a while, So both scenarios are fine for me. Obviously, the lower Bitcoin goes, the better to invest money in, because obviously you get the better risk to reward ratio, right? If Bitcoin goes lower. So that's what I'm looking for right now. And Bitcoin looks like it wants to test these highs. Even though you have bearish divergence on the 1 hour, etc., it still looks like it wants to test these highs and maybe close above. And if that's the case, get ready for 67K, in my opinion. Do you guys have any questions so far? Yeah, what's up, OP? Any altcoin setup you're looking at? When it comes to altcoin, like the only altcoins that are really interesting for me are PumpFun. PumpFun UB is interesting as well, because it just has so much volatility, like look at these swings, like it's actually crazy how big these swings are, and how crazy the volatility. So UB is interesting for me, PumpFun is interesting, and obviously Hype is always interesting to trade. For Hype, I'm actually looking for a potential short inside this confluence zone. So far, but Hype has not reached this confluence zone yet, so I'm not concerned about any trading setup right now. However, I do think this area is interesting, right? Like around 58.6. So this confluence zone, this is a 4-hour and 3-day confluence zone, so should be pretty strong. It hasn't reached it yet. Momentum is still strong on the 4-hour. You can see there's some bearish divergence on the 1 hour, and my plan is, if Hype actually reaches this level, right, this confluence zone, and if it then keeps this bearish divergence, then I'm gonna be shorting Hype. So this would be the ideal short scenario. But if Hype manages to break this bearish divergence, and close above this high on the RSI indicator, then I'm not gonna be looking to short Hype. So for me, the bearish divergence is key. I'm gonna be setting myself alerts for this confluence zone, but I'm not gonna be blindly short limiting into it. I'm not a fan of blindly shorting anything, so I want to see and wait for my confirmation. So I'm gonna be setting myself an alert for this level, and basically the short setup would look like this. So if Hype reaches this confluence zone, and if Hype has bearish divergence and decreasing volatility, this would be how my setup would look like. Okay, my alerts are popping already. Yeah, so this is what I will be looking for on Hype. I'm not looking too long anything yet, but I'm looking too short. And for longs on hype, I'm just gonna be playing the limit bot order. So if you guys have access to Woodsbot Platinum, you guys will be able to see what limit order I'm looking at for hype. I'm not gonna be spoiling the hype trade right here in the stream, but for the people who have platinum access, I'm gonna be taking the hype limit long, which is around this area. So the limit bot wants to potentially long this limit right here. I'm not gonna spoil the exact entry, but it's gonna be looking for a limit long right there, and this is what I will be playing as well if hype reaches this level, right? So if I look at the 30-minute RSI on 30-minute RSI on Bitcoin, like as soon as Bitcoin is gonna be trading above this high, on the, like on the RSI, right? Then this is a bullish signal. So the RSI needs to basically trade above these highs and close like this, you know. If it closes like this right now, so it has 4 minutes left, it's gonna be bearish divergence, which is not the best, right? But if the RSI pushes a bit higher in the next 5 minutes, it's gonna look pretty decent. Then it's actually gonna be looking pretty decent on momentum wise, and then I can definitely see Bitcoin pushing up towards these highs, close above. Can you guys still hear me? Can you guys still hear me? I've been rambling. Okay. Okay, good. I was worried for a second here. But yeah, that's my game plan for hype. I think it's pretty clear where to short right now on hype. But again, I'm gonna have to wait for the confirmation. Other than that, let's have a quick look at Pump Fun. Where's Pump Fun? There it is. So Pump Fun had a really nice, massive pump. No pun intended. Like this daily close was pretty sick. So this daily close, you can see how Pump Fun has been struggling, like really struggling to close above this resistance right here, right? Like it bounced right here, it rejected right here, rejected again, rejected again, rejected again, and rejected again, and rejected again. Like it rejected from this confluence zone 7 times. Like this is a crazy amount of rejection. What the fuck is going on? Sorry, I don't know if you guys can hear this, but my neighbor is my neighbor is so loud right now. But yeah, Pump Fun struggled to close above this on the daily time frame. It finally actually managed to close above, and I do think this breakout should lead towards Pump Fun reaching this next confluence zone. But it's kind of impossible to long this right now. Like you don't want to chase this, you know. Like you don't want to chase this if there's like you see how there's bearish divergence on the low time frame, right? So it makes no sense to blindly long this right now. What you want to do is wait for Pump Fun to potentially come back towards the Monday high. You have this nice order block there as well. This should give a nice retest. It aligns with a Woodsbot level as well. So this is where I would be interested in to look for longs, or even this demand zone right there under the Monday low. But ideally, pump fund should hold the retest of the Monday high, and then you can target this confluence zone right there. But there's also a world where it just keeps consolidating for some time on the low time frame and just pushes through this confluence zone towards the confluence zone. And I do think the ultimate goal for pump fund is definitely this target right there. So around 0.003, I think pump fund is going to be reaching this level. The question is just how does it get there, you know? Because it's hard to find a position right now. If you're not already in from lower. And the advice I can give you guys is be patient. It's not worth chasing anything in this market right now, in my opinion. Be patient and wait for your levels to be hit. I'm interested in this Monday high retest. Other than that, I will be looking for potential shorts when it hits this confluence zone. I think you can definitely scalp short pump fund there if it keeps having bearish divergence, you know. But I do think in the end pump fund is gonna be reaching this confluence zone right there above. I do think this is the main target for now, and I will be looking to short this level as well. But obviously it needs to get there. So these are the areas of interest for me on pump fund. Other than that, I mean, Bitcoin is starting to look good. Like if it keeps pushing up and pushing up, like you guys can see how close it is, right? Like as soon as it closes above these candle closes before that, it's gonna look really, really nice, because this is basically the same setup like Hype, right? If you go to Hype, Hype had this similar market structure where it just kept going down and down and down, and basically Bitcoin is there where Hype was, right? So this is where Bitcoin is right now. This is where Bitcoin is right now. It's basically right under the last swing high, and the only thing it needs to do is basically just trade and close above that, you know. It doesn't need to be the daily, it can be the 4 hours or something else, you know. And you can see on the first reaction it rejected, but afterwards it managed to pump through it, right? And this is what I would like to see on Bitcoin as well, you know. Like have this 4-hour candle close above the last swing highs. This would signal for me a bullish change in the market structure. So this is what I'm waiting for on Bitcoin. But you really have to wait for the candle closure, you know. If you're not being patient and just blindly longing this, you're gonna get wrecked, because there's still potential for price action to reject from this level. Damn, look at that. Ah, damn, I actually didn't take this trade. But this shit, this trade setup, I talked about it in the stream, but I forgot to take it. It was even in my time zone as well. I just didn't take it. Ah. Yeah, somehow I missed that, but you can see how the confluence zone works, right? Like this is amazing. Like this entry was not the perfect one, but almost perfect. It gave you a 7% move. Shit. I would have liked to catch that, but I didn't manage to. Uni is looking also really good. Like this should continue higher. This should definitely continue higher, in my opinion. Maybe Uni is gonna be pumping into this confluence zone, reject again, retest, and then forms a higher low right here, or into this demand zone, you know. And if it does that, it should continue higher. Like this is a continuation setup for me. the fact that Uni managed to hold this level is pretty bullish. I'm gonna be setting myself alerts for this one as well. This level for the demand zone. Uni is interesting. All right. Do you guys have any questions? Any charts you want me to look at? Other than that, I would call it a day. I know it's a bit shorter day, but like I just have I have a massive headache, you know. Next time I'm not gonna be bumping my head before the stream, so it's gonna be a longer stream. But BTC to 67k. Yeah, I think as soon as Bitcoin starts to close a 4-hour candle above these highs, I do think Bitcoin is gonna be reaching towards 67k. Yeah, I think it's very likely, but only if it manages to actually close above, you know. And if it doesn't close above, get ready for 62k again. I think that's my bias for now. Alright, do you guys have any other questions? Alright, looks like everyone is happy. So I'm gonna be calling it a day right here. We are gonna see each other again on Sunday. And I think Woods is gonna be streaming tomorrow inside Woodsbot. And yeah, besides that, I'm excited for the breakout challenge. I hope I can show you guys how to actually improve on your trading, how to stack your money with tight risk management. And it's not going to be like a challenge where you basically try to pass the evaluation in like 1 week, right? It's going to be taking time. If it takes 1 month or 2 months, I don't mind, you know. That's just how you need to trade consistently, and you need to be patient, and I'm willing to be patient and try to take as much time as needed, you know. So I'm excited to do this. I'm excited to level up with you guys. So yeah, thanks for having me, and I'm gonna be seeing you guys on Sunday. Bye bye.